Seeing as we progressed 2 seasons last episode, I thought I would showcase some of the development of the first team players over the last couple of years, and take a gander at some of the players from the development centre, as when we get to stage 4 and we need to replace the current first team players, these are going to be the players that we will be promoting. Last season we took the league title again after not winning the last 2 years, but a quarter-final exit to Manchester City and a poor performance in the Copa del Rey. So what's the game plan? Stage 3 continues. We continue to develop the youngsters that we already have before the first team players get to the age where we sell them on and replace them. So for now, we go to the end of the season and beyond. We are still 9th in the world reputation as well, which we want to become top using the youth to gold method. I began the summer replacing the assistant manager to Klopp's assistant Linders, who is world class. First signing is a goalkeeper who was released by Bayern, who's only 18 and looks brilliant. Speaking of free players, Kevin Clement is a signing that I doubt we will ever see in the first team. He was released by Monaco and I plan to flip him for money in the next couple of years. Stephen Gold, however, is a striker we've brought in from Mexico. He was brought from Villa a couple of seasons ago, but he's developed into a beast and £8 million was all he cost. And don't forget Jordan Ross. He is officially our player now, although we have loaned him back to Sheffield United and he's continuing to score a lot of goals, so we definitely have options in the future for strikers. On the outs, there were mainly loans, but we did sell Vinicius Tobias back to Shakhtar for £10 million, which we still made profit from. We just don't need him now with Serginho Dest playing, despite Juve having bids accepted but never completed a deal. We've started strong though with 3 wins, including an opening day 3-0 win against Celta Vigo, with Sesko proving he is ready to get better and better, firing in 2 goals. Our Champions League group contained Juventus, PSV and Zurich. Should be fine. Things started a lot better than fine. Sesko put in performance of the season as he opened the scoring in the first minute for us, and we were simply fantastic. Scoring 5 goals and not letting Juve have one thing to celebrate. 5-0 in the opening game is exactly what we needed. And although the Catalan derby went well, El Clasico did not. Don Carlo was still there, by the way, as was his friend Robert Lewandowski, aged 38. The only loss we took so far though, and Sesko is on fire. Spoke too soon, 94-minute loss. And what is this about? And this! 1-1 in Zurich! Thankfully, we have Rooney, who in Sesko's absence is now picking up hat-tricks like in this 7-1 win at home to Almeria. But we were still trailing Real Madrid in La Liga by 5 points, but top in our Champions League group. And in November, we could not be stopped. Ending the month with a Sesko hat-trick to defeat Atletico Madrid in the 94th minute, and closing the gap to Real Madrid by just 2 points, and already qualifying in the Champions League with our final game against Juve to win the group, which we failed to do. Brilliant. We did destroy Valladolid 8-0 however, and Rayo Vallecano 7-0 away from home. We still trail Real Madrid, but Sesko, despite playing less games, is beating Lewandowski in the Golden Boot race, and Gavi has 5 more assists than anyone else in the league so far. And for the 3rd year in a row, we've been drawn against Manchester City in the Champions League. So many good stats from our players though, including Sesko getting 30 goals so far in just 21 games, and Rooney with 17 goals and 10 assists, which is also fantastic. Which has stopped Lewandowski from winning 5 Ballon d'Ors in a row. Benjamin Sesko is your 2026 Ballon d'Or winner. We've won 5 FIFA Best Under 21 men's players though, with Rooney winning his first. PSG came in with a huge bid for Pedri, but he's simply way too good to sell, and at this point, he's nowhere near the age we look to sell with youth to gold in mind, so I'm happy to reject that offer. They come back with a £107 million offer, but again, I'm not accepting. We continue to progress well in the league and Copa del Rey, winning every single game. Now joint on points with Madrid, but Lewandowski has scored 1 more goal than Sesko. The real race that everybody is interested in. And after 2 cup wins and 2 league wins, it's El Clasico next. But not before we beat Manchester City in the Champions League first leg 2-0, with Sesko scoring both. We actually go into El Clasico top of the league by 5 points, and this is because Madrid drew to Betis and lost to Sociedad. Weirdly, they are against the other Manchester team in the Champions League, and we just come off a big win too. We are basically fully strengthened. We took the lead when Sesko wore an invisibility cloak and three-peat passed the ball right to him. Madrid then scored 2 minutes later, however, and then the match was flipped on its head when Ramon Mas decided to just nail the Real Madrid defender for no reason and was eventually shown the red card. Somehow though, we played as if we were a player stronger, and Ansu Fati was a huge part of that. He scored a couple of goals. Arthur Thiat got a consolation, and we still score another late one for Fati to get his hat-trick, and the game ended 5-2 Barcelona. And that put us 8 points clear with 13 games left. Although we were missing both centre-backs, we kept City quiet to the dying minutes. Haaland got the first, we got the second thinking we were safe, but Raheem Sterling did score late on to give us a bit of a worry. We actually took a loss right after that too to Almeria. April looked exciting with Chelsea in the quarters of the Champions League and Real Madrid in the Copa del Rey final. First leg was tight as both strikers scored in the first half. Rooney put us 2-1 up right after half time, but Kai Havertz equalised and the tie stayed 2-2. Unfortunately for us, they destroyed us in the second leg and the quarter-final exit of the Champions League was our fate. But it's Copa del Rey time and Lewandowski scores within 10 minutes. Thankfully, we have Benjamin Sesko who equalises. No, Lewandowski scores his second 2-1. All good, we've got Gavi as well, 2-2. And Ansu Fati, 3-2, with just 10 minutes left. Hat-trick Lewandowski, 3-3. Extra time and Ansu Fati scores his second. It's 4-3. 121st minute for Kyle Tomori takes this to penalties. And then something I never thought I would see, but we actually missed our first 3 penalties. What a terrible performance. I hate penalty shootouts. So I guess we just focus on the league then, where Real Madrid have closed the gap down to 2. And this is down to us losing and drawing a game this month. Didn't lose to Atletico Madrid though, 7-0 win. What? And Real Madrid dropped 2 points. We followed that up with a 5-0 and a 4-0 win with another Sesko hat-trick. And so, with just 2 games left, we just need 1 win, but Benjamin Sesko is still 1 goal behind Robert Lewandowski. However, Villarreal had other plans and beat us 1-0. Real Madrid are just a point behind us and Lewandowski has scored 2 more. Don Carlo's team scored in the 96th minute in their last game to win through Jack Harrison. So how did we do? Well, that man, Benjamin Sesko, scored 3 goals in a 6-0 victory against Granada to secure the La Liga trophy back-to-back on the final day of the season. Although we won the league title, Lewandowski scored 1 more goal on the final day to take the golden boot away from Benjamin Sesko. Swings and roundabouts. Julian Nagelsmann's Chelsea went on to win the Champions League against Liverpool 2-1 as well. Well, it's time for the summer holidays. Looking at youth teams, Jane Vincent is definitely someone that looks ready for the first team. Statistically, Sesko, Baji and Fati were insane this year for goals, and Gavi with 31 assists as well was also impressive. And Jordan Ross has gained an unbelievable amount of growth while out on loan at Sheffield United, scoring a lot of goals in the Premier League. Looking at my current first team, Ter Stegen is old, but there's nobody really there to place him that's ready yet. Ronald Araujo is prime age to be sold in youth to gold system, and the clubs are after him, with some good replacements that aren't at his level yet, but we'll get there through some game time. Same with Ferran Torres too, who is mainly a squad player anyway. Selling him would be a bigger priority for me. Prime age for the biggest money to sell if I can get that from clubs around Europe. First game of the season when we travelled to Getafe, who scored the opener. And we failed to fight our way back into the game at all. On the stroke of half time, they got another. All we could do was score a very late goal through Gavi to lose our first game of the season. And it's El Clasico up next as well. Brilliant. We went with the same lineup and just hoping that they perform better. Benjamin Sesko kicked things off for us with a goal on the 11th minute. He picked up a second just before half-time. However, Yeremy Pino pulled Real Madrid back into the game with half an hour remaining. But the 2026 Ballon d'Or winner picked up his hat-trick. And yet there was still another time for the best goal of the game scored by debutant Jordan Ross, who played fantastic. 1-2 to fire in our 4th. Gave up a 2-0 lead against Betis though. Deadline day, along with a mandatory fee, came in for Ferran Torres and I'm going to accept. £60 million for him and a big wage leaves after that year. I was then shocked to see Bayern Munich wanted a youth centre-back as a first-team player. But looking at the squad Pochettino has, I can see why. He should be their second best centre-back behind Upamecano. He's only 20 years of age, but he looks like a monster. He's 6'5" with 17 pace, agility, and jumping reach. That's insane. A good year there learning while we look to move Araujo on could be a good move for both parties. Ignore that actually, Bayern Munich couldn't get the deal done in time. And Ferran Torres rejected Milan too. Right, okay then. So the transfer window has ended. I did actually loan out Worrell in the end to Shakhtar so he can play some Champions League football. And a lot of loan deals taking place as well. Transfers out in Bamba leaving for £10 million and Recalde joining for £21 million, who looks to be a good Spanish midfielder. Sheldrup was another player we say goodbye to for £12.5 million, and some more really good youngsters who have joined for really cheap costs. Our Champions League group should be very easy, so let's fast forward to Christmas. La Liga form ended well with 4 wins in December November, but we did have a bumpy patch in the middle where another 2 losses in a row and 2 draws. The highlights definitely being a 7-2 win over Atletico Madrid and a 6-0 win over Valencia with goals from Rooney Badji, who got 2, Ferran Torres, who also picked up a brace, his second being a screamer cutting in from the left hand side and supporting Cas Pedri with the 5th before half time, and Ross getting up for a corner for the 6th. We topped the Champions League group, winning 6 from 6 and drawing Man United in the knockouts. Benjamin Sesko wins back-to-back Ballon d'Ors, and it's great to see Gavi in 2nd place too. El Clasico next, and with some injuries and suspensions, I've had to call up 2 midfielders in Alá and Recalde from Barcelona B, moving Pedri back to the shadow striker role. But Arthur Thiat scored the only goal of the game for Madrid, which then put us 9 points behind them. Lewandowski has retired, by the way. But over to the semi-final of the Copa del Rey, we lost 3-1. Luckily, this is a 2-legged competition, remember. And Jordan Ross inspired a great comeback with a hat-trick in a 5-1 win, putting us in the final against Real Madrid. Jordan Ross keeps his position as striker ahead of Ballon d'Or winner Sesko in the final and played a big part in the opening goal by Rooney in the 2nd minute. I wasn't really ready for the left-back Balde hitting the sweetest shot of his career for the 2nd. Gavi got another 4 minutes later and we were 3-0 up at the break. But we continued and Jordan Ross picked up his goal of the game before Madrid scored a penalty to make it 4-1. But Sesko came off the bench to remind us of his quality, scoring the final goal of the game. Barcelona lift the Copa del Rey for the first time in 4 seasons. Over to the league, and not only can we not stop scoring, but we've also stopped conceding too. Carlos Madrid, however, have been dropping points left, right and centre. 3 draws since January and 1 loss, which actually puts us on level points with Madrid, but top of the league on head-to-head and goal difference. And our form continued in April, non-stop wins in La Liga. Madrid have melted like a chocolate teapot, however, and only picked up 1 win all month in the only game that they actually scored in. So with 3 games left, we just need 1 win for the three-peat of the league. And we got that win in the next game against Mallorca, where we put 3 goals past them, capped off with a Luca Romero strike. We actually won the last 2 games too, meaning we won 2 out of the 3 competitions with just the Champions League left. So let's go back in time to our first leg against Manchester United. In what was the craziest game of the season, the tie finished 5-5 at Old Trafford, with Gabriel Jesus scoring the 96th minute equaliser. The second leg began with Gavi scoring a worldie into the top bin. Manchester United equalised with Goretzka from a corner. Rooney Badji was then put in on the 32nd minute to fire in a second for us. Gavi then picked up an assist from a corner with Jordan Ross scoring. But Manchester United could only muster 1 more goal through Marcus Rashford, meaning we won the leg 8-7. I don't know why this keeps happening, but from Manchester United again, we go to Manchester City. We seem to play them every single year. Anyway, we continue to play amazing and won our home leg 3-1 through goals by Fati, Gavi and Jordan Ross. City started the second leg fast when Mariba, a former Barcelona youth prospect, assisted Erling Haaland. Fortunately, putting our trust in Jordan Ross in the cup matches over Sesko has been a great play for us, as he does brilliantly to score a header. And Ansu Fati's pace was too much for City's defence to put us through to the semi-final against Liverpool. Klopp is still there and they won this competition 2 seasons ago. Now we've had many highs and many fantastic comebacks in this series, but after finding ourselves 3-0 down early on at Anfield, we were going to need one. But that's not today. Liverpool scored another, and another, and another, and a 7th. We even lost the second leg 2-0, and Liverpool went on to beat Bayern Munich on penalties to win the whole thing. But I do have a question for you. Now that we have Jordan Ross and Benjamin Sesko scoring goals, do we chance it and go 2 up top? Let me know your thoughts down in the comment section whether we should do that, but if the video is already up, I'll stick it up on the screen right now. If it isn't, why not check out this video where we try and break a record.